we'll give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We'll try and see.
Yeah. So you heard about Russia and Ukraine?
Yes. It's all they talk about in media now.
Yeah. So
COVID stuff is gone, disappeared.
The COVID just went away, didn't it?
Yeah. Here in Portugal, anybody talks about COVID anymore. It's all about the war between Russia and Ukraine. It's
yeah. So
boring.
So
all day long.
In the media, who's the good guy and who's the bad guy?
The bad guy is Putin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't that weird? I mean, to me, it's strange.
Yes, it is strange, and also it is strange when we here in Portugal, when we see the images of people that they were supposed to look afraid and panic and running from the war, they are okay. And I see some children with their mothers running away, but they were okay. They were laughing and playing. It's almost like the talking head on the TV says something that doesn't correspond to the images that we are seeing. But I don't care. Yeah,
no, I don't care either. I noticed, this is like at least 3 weeks now. And I remember when I first saw it, just sort of almost by accident in a way. I mean, I was on Twitter and I saw the headline, something about Russia and Ukraine, and I immediately thought this is going to be a story. I don't know what kind of story, but I'm going to keep my eye on it, and it's certainly it's escalated. And so in a jokingly sort of way, I said this is World War III. Okay, now hear me out on this. Since I got the recorder on, let me just say this, just to get it out there. All right, so and when I was growing up as a kid, we would hide underneath the desk. All right, in preparation for a Russian missile strike. If the Russians attacked the United States and sent a bunch of missiles over here, we kids could get under the desk and be safe. All right, so I don't think they still do that. But the point is that there's always been this sort of scare factor, if you will, fear factor of United States versus Russia. Okay, I don't know if you're familiar with Rocky 3 or the Rocky movies. Rocky 3, or I don't know, I guess it was Rocky 4, when Rocky Balboa fought the Russian Ivan Drago. Right, it's United States versus Russia. When I was a kid in I think 1980 or whenever it was, there was this great hockey match: United States versus the all-powerful Russian hockey team.
Yeah, I know. It was the Cold War.
Yeah,
between United States and Russia.
Yeah,
and yes, I'm familiar with Rocky movies.
Yeah.
I only saw watch two of these movies.
Okay. Yeah, I think they're good. I haven't watched them in a long time, but I enjoyed them very much. And also in 1959, Alaska became a state, and Alaska is real close to Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Why would the United States buy Alaska? Oh, in case there was a war, right? And this is long after what? Long. It's not that long, but long. A little bit of time after World War II. Now, in the Bible, okay, so let me just go all out here.
Okay.
In the Bible, in like Matthew 24, excuse me, Matthew 24, Mark 13, Luke 21, it says, "You will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you're not troubled," right? "These things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet." All right, something to that effect, right? So, where's this at? I can't find it. It used to be there in the Bible. Maybe there it is, verse 6. It's way up there. "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation." Now, we've seen that with the United States attacking Afghanistan and Iraq and what's going on essentially right now with Ukraine and Russia. And we've seen many examples of this, like Palestine and Israel and so on and so forth. But check out the next, what it says right after that. It says kingdom against kingdom. Now, I've never seen that. Now, you could say World War II, World War I was kingdom against kingdom. But in our lifetime, in my lifetime, I've never seen it. I don't believe. And it says, "For these things must come to pass." So, in my opinion, it's quite possible that this whole thing is going to happen. They've been talking about it. Why talk about it? If you talk about fighting your neighbor, eventually there's going to be a scuffle. You keep talking about it and keep talking about it. You keep imagining it. You keep thinking it. It's going to happen. All right. You're going to, you reap what you sow, basically. And this has been sown in our consciousness for all my life, this war against Russia. All right. And so we're going to see the reaping of what they've sown, quite possibly once other nations start to get involved in this conflict. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm just saying it could happen. And if other nations do get involved, this thing could snowball real quickly. All right. And so I remember as a kid, I had a vision of missiles flying over my head. And it's just my imagination. It's never going to happen. But I think back to that time when I was like 10 years old. And I saw that missile going over my head in middle America, in middle Iowa, right? And so I just wonder if maybe that could possibly happen. I don't know. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But I just can't help but think this has always been there. And here we have, in what my opinion is, the media is clearly drumming this thing up. And the media is clearly trying to get people against Russia.
Mm-hmm. I mean, no doubt at all.
And so yes.
That's what they are doing now.
Now, let's just, I'm trying to make this quick. So let's say there is other nations start to get involved. I mean, the United States have already sent troops to Poland, from what I understand. So they're in position to get involved. Okay, let's say they do get involved. And then let's say Russia does send missiles to the United States. Okay, I don't know what I was going to say, but beyond that, let me collect my thought for a second.
Okay.
It seems like I had a point to make, and I think I forgot my... Okay, well, anyways, regardless, let's say this happens. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I remember now. Let's say all this happens. Now, This is not, in my opinion, this is not an honest war of one kingdom against another kingdom. This is a collaboration of all the kingdoms of the earth, and making it look or appear to be one kingdom against another kingdom. And in fact, this is all about population control, reducing the number of people, and also empowering the government over the people. All right? Does that make sense? So this is a self-generated war to reduce population and to gain power over the people, in my opinion. Does that make?
I agree with you.
If it ever gets to that, I mean, I could see them doing that really very easily. It'd be, I mean, if that's their goal, to lower population and to have more power and control over it, what a fantastic way to make that to make that even stronger, right? Than to generate this great big war. When in reality, all the people in power, they're all behind it. They've already planned it. They already know what's going to happen, and they're the one pulling the strings. So that's just my thought on that. Okay.
Yes, and I think you're totally right.
Well,
I agree with you, but I didn't understand what you think about kingdom against kingdom. Can you explain that?
Yeah.
You said that you're not seeing that at the moment.
Yeah, so I don't think we're seeing that in the sense that we're just in comparison to nation against nation. So a kingdom, in my opinion, would be, let's say, United States, Great Britain, and all their allies against Russia, China, and all their allies. Kingdom against kingdom. All right, so you've got Biden or Bush or whoever clamoring for a one world government, and on the other hand, you have Putin and China. They're clamoring for a one world order also, but it's different than the ones on the other side. So here we have a clash, supposed clash. I want to make that very clear that this is all orchestrated, in my opinion. But you have this imagined clash of ideas, and you've got an ally of countries against another ally of countries, and they are going to fight each other, and a bunch of people are going to die. You're not going to see a bunch of rich people dying. You're going to see a bunch of poor people dying and a bunch of young people. All right, so it's not going to be about power. It's going to be about lowering population and gaining power over the people, in my opinion. Okay.
Okay. I agree with you.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. You never. I could be wrong. Somebody told me last week that this will be over in a couple of weeks and forgotten about. I'm not so sure, but we'll see. Who cares? The one thing for sure, the media is really pounding the story, aren't they?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, like a steady drum beat, day after day.
At least here in Portugal, it's all day long talking about the same subject on television.
I think people are dog tired of talking about COVID, really.
Yes, but people are starting to get terrifying about this war. The people I know, and I talk to my dad and some other friends, and people, they are saying that this is the starting of World War III.
Really?
And really, and I think the point is getting the masses always under pressure and fear I don't understand this way of living. What they want from us, the elite want from us.
Control. That's all they want. Control. Now let's take a break. Hold on.